Hey everyone, it's Brian here with my reaction to the 2022 Royal Rumble that took place on Saturday. It's currently Monday afternoon as of this. So basically had some time to think about it, hear like reports of stuff and everything. So I'm basically going to go over the matches, what I thought of them at the time, and probably thought of them later on. So first off, there wasn't a pre-show match, so I don't get why there was a kickoff show for 2 hours, and also why they couldn't start the show at like midnight, like over here UK time rather than 1 a.m. because it didn't finish till gone 5 a.m. So that was always fun. So the first match is Roman Reigns defends the Universal Championship against Seth Rollins. The whole build-up is like Seth has been basically doing mind games on Roman, and tonight is no different. Which, spoiler alert, this is the best part of the night. Seth comes out to the Shield's music, wearing the old Shield, the black attire, like the combat pants and the shirt and the like security vest essentially. Coming down through the crowd. It's funny because it's like he's doing all this entrance, but he's still doing like his weird dancey walk that he does now, like when he's wearing all his like drip stuff. Their words, not mine. I'm not down with the lingo. But he's still doing like that whole like really cocky walk that he does, but whilst like still coming down the stairs. Like basically getting into Roman's mind. It's actually a decent match. It's a really good opener. The crowd's really into it. The end. There's a bit where it's like Roman hits a spear on him, and instead of going to pin him, Seth starts laughing and puts a fist bump up. He's like, "Come on, you know you want to, brother." And then eventually Roman puts him in the choke, and then it's such a weird way they've done it. Like I get what they were going for, but they messed it up. So it's like Seth's like trying to power out, crawl to the ropes. Everyone's like cheering him on, and then he suddenly stops near the ropes, and it's like, oh no, like he's passed out. So the referee lifts his hand, like just normally a 3 count, where it's like if it drops 3 times straight away, then he's like essentially passed out. And he does that, and because of where he's lifted it and dropped it, Seth's hand lands on the rope. So essentially, the ref helped him get the rope break. Eventually starts counting Roman to tell him to let go. Roman doesn't let go. Roman gets disqualified. So Seth wins by disqualification. I feel like this is one where they've probably put themselves into a corner again. It seems to be a very regular occurrence for WWE. It's like, they'll go, oh, we'll do this. Oh, crap, we've got this other stuff. How do we get out of this? In a way, it shows maybe Roman can't beat Seth. Seth's record against Roman is still essentially perfect. But I don't know how to feel about it because basically what happens later on. Like I feel like this is going to lead to a rematch, but I think we know how it's going to happen. Like I said, with what goes later on, we'll go with that. Next, we've got the Women's Royal Rumble match. This one takes place in just under an hour. It's 59 minutes 40 seconds. So, first entrant is Sasha Banks. Again, I don't get why they have her appear on the SmackDown before. Why not just have her be a surprise entrant in the Rumble? But probably the reason for that is because entrant number 2 is Melina, who basically makes a return. The Rumble one-off return. She does her splits and everything. She's looking really good. Sasha Banks throws her out even before Zelina gets in the ring. And then they start doing this weird split-off thing. Like, they start doing the splits, and Sasha's like, yeah, I can do that too. And Melina's like, oh yeah, I'll show you. And that was odd. Number 3 is Tamina. Number 4 is Kelly Kelly, doing the whole pointing at whatever and smiling all the time. Number 5 is Aaliyah from SmackDown. Number 6 is Liv Morgan. 7 is Queen Zelina. 8 is Bianca Belair. 9 is Dana Brooke, all from Raw. Liv was my pick to win originally because honestly I couldn't think of anyone. I feel like someone on Raw had to win. Number 10 is Michelle Mccool. I believe this is her second Rumble appearance. She was in the 2018 one, I believe. Number 11 is Sonja Deville. Technically she's written down as a free agent, despite the fact that she's the authority figure on SmackDown, essentially. Don't get it. She comes out and she basically just goes on commentary, still with the jacket on. Natalia's number 12. I originally thought she'd be like number 2 and she'd be like the Iron Woman of it, like the one that lasted the longest. It turns out it was I think Bianca lasted the longest, if I'm looking at it. I'm just scrolling through the times. Yeah, Bianca lasted the longest. at 47 minutes and a half. So that's actually not too bad for her. Number 13 is Cameron, probably a return that no one really expected or wanted. She's well known for not being great in the ring, and her favourite match of all time being Melina versus Alicia Fox. And unfortunately, in both of them, like spoiler alert, Alicia's in it as well. Cameron misses both of them. But the only thing that I did like about this is Cameron comes out, and I think Corey or Byron says, "Oh, she used to be with Naomi in the Funkadactyls," and Sonja goes, "Wait, she's friends with Naomi?" Goes out and batters her immediately, throws her out, and then Naomi is the next entrant. Obviously, it's so weird the way they don't, I would have expected her to just immediately come out, rush after her and just go for a straightaway, but she basically walks down briskly, goes to Cameron, goes, "You alright? Cool." She goes in the ring, starts fighting Sonja. Naomi eventually does throw Sonja out as well, which is good. But then there's a bit where it's like Naomi just saves herself, and then it's before she can get in the ring, Sonja grabs her and pulls her out. I've never figured out what the rule is for getting back from under the rope. I don't know if your whole body has to go under, or if it's just the feet, because they've never made that clear as to what the rule is. Does your entire body? Because I know the rule is you go over the top rope, both feet touch the floor. So therefore, could you technically put your feet under the ring and just say, well, technically I'm still in the ring because my feet are in the ring? It's just one thing they never explain. Number 15 is Carmella. Number 16 is Rhea Ripley. Number 17 is Charlotte Flair, the SmackDown Women's Champion, the one I was dreading to win the whole thing if it wasn't going to be for someone on Raw. Number 18 is Ivory. This one was really great. Amazing thing is, she's 60 years old, but she looks way younger than 60, to be honest. But the best part was, it wasn't she came out in her Ivory music. She came out with the Right to Censor music, dressed in the attire, talking about how, all these years she's tried to censor Raw and put everyone, and she's sick of all these women in the ring with this weird alternative, essentially Rhea's the big one she goes after, where she's like, "You're not a traditional woman, look at you, you're big and muscular and you've got your weird hair and your tattoos and all this stuff." And as she's talking to the microphone, Rhea picks her up and she's like, "No, put me down, put me down, put me down." So Rhea puts her over the ring and she says, how dare you do that to me?" And then she pushes her and she goes, "Ah!" As she's falling, she's still got the microphone. She goes, "Ah!" and falls. She goes, "I hate you!" And basically walks off. To me, that was the highlight of the entire Rumble. That was just really great to see. I got a great laugh out of that. Number 19 was Brie Bella. I was expecting Nikki to follow. Nikki doesn't actually come for another 5 entrants. Number 20, this was probably the biggest thing going into the Rumble, is Mickie James, the Impact Knockouts champion. She actually comes out to Hardcore Country, not her WWE theme. She comes out with the Impact title, and it's really great. They actually put a little title card, Impact Knockouts champion Mickie James. They actually show her with the belt because she comes out with a belt. She actually does last about 11 minutes 40 seconds. So that's actually not too bad. Number 21 is Alicia Fox. Number 22 is Nikki ASH. She's feuding with Rhea at the moment. So Rhea does the stupid face thing where she goes to the rope, especially in a Rumble. She's like, "Come on, I'm waiting for you. Come on." Sonja was clever enough, in a look of shock or whatever. She was clever enough to stand in the middle of the ring. So therefore, regardless, she has time to make note of anyone trying to eliminate her. Nikki comes in, tries to throw her out, doesn't work. Rhea's like, "Oh, I've got you now, you little twerp." Very face language. You twerp. Eventually they separate and do their own thing. They just kind of forget they're in a feud. Number 23 is the legend Summer Rae. She comes out. Natalia's just really annoyed because they're playing on the whole Total Divas thing where those two hate each other. I think Summer Rae went to Natalia's house and basically gave a shit about something, and then Natalia punched her and "Get the fuck off my property," essentially. And then basically that's been not a cult thing or a legendary thing, but it's one of those things where whenever someone mentions Summer Rae, that's what they go with, because Total Divas is such a trash TV show that's one of the highlights of it, as well as from watching Courtaholic, it's Naomi's shoot hurricanrana on her husband. Basically just little stuff like that. Number 24 is the other Bella, Nikki Bella. Her, Brie, and Alicia Fox have a Team Bella reunion. I accidentally called it Team Bad when I was watching it with my friends. But Team Bad was Tamina, Sasha, and Naomi. But yeah, it was Team Bella. They eliminate Alicia Fox. Sarah Logan then makes a return just to do the whole reuniting with Liv thing, but then she gets eliminated by the Bellas, and then Liv Morgan gets eliminated afterwards. Number 26, a lot later than I thought it would have been, was Lita. Yeah, her whole thing is like she's teasing a match with Charlotte Flair. That's why I thought, if anything, Lita's going to eliminate Charlotte, or Charlotte's going to eliminate Lita, one or the other. Number 27 is Mighty Molly, which is very nice to see. What was great about it as well was Nikki Ash went straight after her, because Mighty Molly is essentially like Hurricane's psychic, so she's like a superhero, and Nikki AH is Nikki almost a superhero, so she batters her outside. She goes, "There's only room for one superhero," and like basically throws her cape off, throws her out the ring. I was like, that was actually a really nice touch. I quite like that. Number 28, pretty much the winner. The second you saw it, you knew, okay, they're winning. Ronda Rousey makes a return. It was reported for weeks that she wasn't going to be there. She was like staying off. Like she'll probably come back from Mania or something like that. But she actually appears at the Rumble. Number 29 is Shotzi Blackheart, and number 30 is Shayna Baszler. That's 2 times Shotzi's been number 30. It's so depressing, the transition from her in 2020 to this year. In 2020, when she comes out, Corey Graves immediately says game over, and Shayna eliminates like 7 people in 2 minutes. Here, she eliminates no one. Like literally comes out, oh, number 30, Shayna Baszler. She gives Ronda alert. They go to beat people up. 5 minutes later, Charlotte throws her out, and it's like really, like it's just how far she's fallen. It's so sad to see. Yeah, essentially like the last 4, I believe. I believe it's like the last 4. You've got Lita, Charlotte, Ronda, Shayna. I think Bianca's in there quite late on as well. Essentially, it comes down like Charlotte eliminates Lita, Charlotte eliminates Shayna. I believe Charlotte eliminates Bianca as well. Where is Bianca? Yep, Charlotte eliminates Bianca as well. So it comes down to Charlotte and Ronda, and then the writing's on the wall. Ronda's going to win, because Charlotte is essentially the female equivalent to Roman Reigns all those years ago, whereas like there's more satisfaction out of Charlotte / Roman losing than there is whoever winning. 2017 was a prime example of that. Randy Orton won the Rumble, where everyone was like, I have no idea who's going to win. There's 10 possible winners, and they go with Randy Orton. But the thing is, the reason why they cheer it is because Roman loses. So, yeah, this was the same thing. Essentially, Ronda within like a minute later throws Charlotte out. So, yeah, Ronda wins. She's going to WrestleMania. Charlotte will probably pick, like Ronda's going to announce tonight who she's going to go against. Either the logic would be Becky, because they never actually got their one-on-one for WrestleMania from 3 years ago, when Becky won the Rumble, and then they had to insert Charlotte into it. Or she goes after Charlotte because of the whole Survivor Series thing, and Charlotte can then turn around and go, well, you may have won the Rumble, but I want to challenge you, blah, 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 and all this stuff. So I feel like it's going to be Ronda Becky. Maybe they're going to do Charlotte versus Lita, Saudi Arabia, or WrestleMania. The tease could be Charlotte and Sasha Banks. I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, it was kind of... it was alright, but it was one of those ones where the second you saw her come out, you knew she was going to win, because they're not going to have Ronda lose just like that. But yeah, it's fine. We'll see how it plays out. I think we know we're going to get Ronda Becky, which I'm up for that, because we've got big time Bex now. And like I said before, we never got that one-on-one with Ronda and Becky, so this is how to get it. Then fair enough. Wish I could say the same for the men's though, and we'll get into that later. So after this was Becky Lynch versus Doudrop for the Royal Women's Championship. I may have spoiled the result by talking about that. This had two unfortunate things. One, like the build-up was good, but I don't think anyone thought for a second that Doudrop was going to beat Becky for the title. And two, it came after the Women's Rumble, so the crowd was pretty much dead for it. Apparently the highlight of the match was the WrestleMania sign caught fire because of the pyro from when Ronda won the Rumble. So they had to evacuate that section. Doudrop does get a lot of offense on Becky Lynch, which is actually really good. It does show her as being strong. It takes Becky a middle rope manhandle slam, or Brett's rope if you watch OSW. The reason it's called Brett's rope is because he had that like the diving elbow drop from the second rope, so they just kept calling it Brett's rope. Eventually Becky Lynch retains against Doudrop after 13 minutes. Like I said, it was unfortunate because it was in that sort of the middle bit just after a Rumble, so everyone's really tired. Next, Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. This one only goes like 10 minutes. It's very back and forth. It starts off similar to Goldberg Lesnar, which was great. Bobby Lashley, it's great because they start doing like lockups and they're like, test of strength. Brock gets the German in, and he's like, got you. And then Bobby does the same to a big reaction, and Brock's like, okay, fair enough, okay. Eventually, Brock hits like 3 Germans, and then Bobby hits him with a spear, another spear. He goes to spear him through the barricade outside. Brock moves out the way. Brock throws him in the ring. Goes to F5 him, but then Bobby manages to escape, put the Hurt Lock in. They then charge into the ref in the corner, so he takes a bump, and then Brock hits the F5 on Bobby Lashley, but his foot kicks the referee, so the referee's down. Out comes Roman Reigns, spears Brock Lesnar. Then he looks to Paul Heyman, signals him to give him the title. Paul Heyman gives him the title. Shock twist, Paul Heyman's betrayed Brock Lesnar. Oh my god, for like the 5th time now. So Roman grabs the title, clocks Brock round the face with it, and then he puts the title down, he leaves, and him and Paul Heyman walk away. Bobby gets the pin, the second ref runs in and counts it, and Bobby wins. I've not got a problem with Bobby winning, it's just, there you go, you set up Brock versus Roman for WrestleMania now. And also, it's like, I get it because they couldn't do it at day 1 because of Roman getting COVID. That's why they inserted him in the title match, made him WWE champion, and then they pretty much had to revert back to it being Brock Roman for the US Universal title. It was again weird booking how they've done it. Like, I get Roman costing the match, therefore Brock has a reason for it. But then the second referee runs straight past Roman and Paul, knowing full well he's got involved. So why is he not disqualified? Bobby Lashley, essentially. It's one of those things that baffles me sometimes. But yeah, so Bobby's the champion again. Just to, spoiler alert, I'm going to go on a rant when I get to the Rumble because there's plenty to rant about. Next match, Edge and Beth Phoenix versus The Miz and Maurice in a mixed tag match. Miz and Maurice looking great in red, especially Maurice. Maurice after all these years still looks just as good as she did. Beth Phoenix, I'm really liking her new look. I think she put a message out on like a social media like yesterday, how like she didn't really like her body image before. Like, she liked the Glamazon was her ideal body image, and now that she's got that and seeing the Edge like really likes the look, is sort of made her feel more positive about herself, which is always nice to hear. Beth and Edge with the matching attire, Miz and Maurice with the matching attire. This was like full on Panto style, like, you know, Miz with Bad Bunny at WrestleMania last year, which I don't mind. Yeah, Miz is great for stuff like that. Miz is a great old school wrestler. The whole time is essentially like, you know, like Kurt and Ronda versus Triple H and Steph. The whole time you just want to see Beth get her hands on Maurice, and like Miz keeps stopping that, Maurice keeps getting cheap shots on her and stuff like that. Eventually it's a lot of back and forth, there's a lot of kicking out of finishes. Eventually Edge and Beth hit the double spear and then the double glam slam, and then Edge pins Miz to win. So yeah, it's a nice moment there. If this is a one-off, fair enough, I don't mind it. I thought they were going to try and save it for Mania, but you know, it was actually a pretty fun match. It like probably felt longer than it did, but probably just because we were kind of wanting to get to the Rumble, and at this point it was approaching 4 o'clock. So like I said, the match itself was actually really good, like really old school stuff. I quite liked it. But yeah, I think it was just one of those things where we were sort of at the time just like, please get to the Rumble, please get to the Rumble. It's 4 a.m. I want to go to bed. And then the final main event, lasting 51 minutes 10 seconds. Like I said, it was a very rushed, very quick Rumble. It's the men's Royal Rumble. Number 1 is AJ Styles. Number 2 is Shinsuke Nakamura. I quite like those first two. Number 3 is Austin Theory, who's been feuding with AJ Styles, trying to get in Vince McMahon's good book. Number 4 is Robert Roode. Number 5 is Ridge Holland. Number 6 is Montez Ford. Number 7 is Damian Priest. Number 8 is Sami Zayn. I believe Sami Zayn was number 8 for the I believe it was the 2017 Rumble. The one where it was him, and then there was like Dean Ambrose and James Ellsworth, and like Braun Strowman was basically a big deal for ages. Then Baron Corbin eliminated him. So this is the second time he's been number 8, as I'm aware. Number 9, very predictable after this, was Johnny Knoxville from Jackass. It was basically announced that he announced at day 1 that he was entering the Rumble. Sami Zayn basically hates him for it because, like, you know, essentially like what most people are thinking. There are so many other people deserving of the spot. Why does Johnny Knoxville, the non-wrestler, get a shot? But, like, you know, it's cross-promotion. He's there to promote Jackass. It's great because, like, he takes Sami down. He goes to AJ Styles, and AJ's like, go on, hit me then. Go on, I want to see what you like. So he hits him, AJ goes, oh, okay, fair enough. And he's like, do you want me to give you a go? Johnny's like, yeah, go on. So he does his, like, 5-hit combo, clotheslines him down. Johnny's like, ow, okay, that hurt. Montez then hits a splash. Ridge Holland picks him up, puts him over the rope, and then before he can actually do his move, Sami Zayn Helluva kicks him straight out the ring. And then AJ throws Sami out immediately. Yeah, it was really nice. Like, it was a good brief cameo from Johnny. It wasn't too bad. Yeah, like, I thought it would have been something if he eliminated Sami Zayn. I feel like maybe it's going to be Sami versus Johnny Knoxville at WrestleMania. You never know. Number 10 was Angelo Dawkins. Number 11 was Omos. Omos, I thought, would have been the one with the most eliminations. Turns out it was AJ Styles. AJ got 6. Even the winner didn't get as much as him. Omos basically just started throwing people out left, right, and centre. Number 12 was Ricochet. Number 13 was Chad Gable. This is where it got really interesting. So Chad comes out, gets everyone together, and he's like, look, I've got a plan. We've got to have a plan this to get him out. Damien, you get him. You're the biggest. You go for him. Eventually, doesn't work. Damien gets thrown out. So then whilst that happens, everyone grabs Omos, and they start trying to throw him out. Dominic then comes out to help with it. And then AJ, like, basically takes a step back, phenomenal forearm to the back. Omos is then thrown out by everyone. So it basically says AJ Styles, Austin Theory, Ridge Holland, Ricochet, Chad Gable, and Dominic. So that's 6 people had to throw Omos out. Like I said, it was unfortunate because I thought he would have gone a bit longer, but again, maybe Omos is limited. Number 15 is Happy Corbin. Number 16, Dolph Ziggler. Number 17, Sheamus. Number 18, Rick Boogs. Number 19, Madcap Moss. So there's a bit where Madcap and Happy Corbin are actually working together. Number 20 is Riddle. Number 21 is Drew McIntyre, who they said had neck surgery, was going to be out for a year, despite the fact the neck surgery was pretty much day 1, so 4 weeks ago. Like, I get the whole John Cena coming back months after he was meant to after his neck injury, but that's just stupid. Like, the whole, he was going to be out for a year with neck surgery, but he's back after 4 weeks. It's like, okay, no one's that, like, superhuman. You're taking the mick now. Number 22 is Kevin Owens. Number 23 is Rey Mysterio. Number 24 is Kevin Owens. He gets eliminated after 21 seconds because, unfortunately, he botches the Kofi spot. He basically goes for a springboard. Kevin Owens pushes him, and he basically turns around and he grabs the barricade, but unfortunately, when he hits the barricade, his feet drop and touch the floor. They check the replay, and they go, oh, he's touched, so he's out. So that was very unfortunate. Number 25 is Otis. Number 26 is Big E, who I thought was going to win the Rumble. This is where it gets a bit more interesting. Number 27 is Bad Bunny, which was a very nice surprise. Bad Bunny actually gets 2 eliminations. If I remember correctly, he eliminates Dolph Ziggler, but he also eliminates Sheamus as well. Because Sheamus goes for a bro kick, Bad Bunny pulls the rope down, Sheamus goes over. I think Ray and Bad Bunny team together to get Dolph Ziggler out, and then Bad Bunny tries to throw Ray out. And it's great because he does it, he goes, I did it. And Ray just goes, really? You tried to throw me out? And then, like, nothing comes of it. Number 28 is Shane McMahon. If I thought Bad Bunny's thing was great, this was just a massive laugh. I was laughing the whole time. Yeah, of all the people, like, spoiler, there's no Finn, there's no Cesaro, but you give it to Shane McMahon, you give it to fucking, like, Johnny Knoxville, you give it to, like, there's plenty of other people. It's like they could have been in there instead, especially if some of them did close to nothing. Number 29 is Randy Orton, the hometown boy, essentially gets a massive reaction. Number 30, Brock Lesnar. And this is pretty much where the show soured for all of us. Because the second he comes in, you know he's winning. And yeah, basically goes in, eliminates everyone. He eliminates Drew at the end. Like, at least the sort of build-up is maybe they can throw Drew in the title picture somehow, because he looks really annoyed that he basically didn't get that title opportunity that he's been after, because obviously when Bobby's champion, Drew can't go for the title. Yeah, like I said, it's just like with the Ronda thing, the second you saw him come out, you know they're winning. And I hate WWE's logic of Brock Lesnar will fix everything. And yeah, it's like, you've just had Roman cost Brock the WWE title. Why does Brock need the Rumble win to validate going after Roman Reigns? And again, Brock Lesnar's a big enough name that he can just go to Roman and goes, I'm going to challenge you for the title because you did this, and they'll just go, yeah, go on. Again, and then for Raw, what does it set up for Raw? Who's going to challenge Bobby Lashley? They have built no one on Raw to build. Like, Big E's probably the closest, but again, Big E is now on SmackDown, so he can't do that. But again, Seth was on Raw and he's gone for Roman, so maybe this whole brand thing doesn't matter anymore. Kevin Owens hasn't been built up for it. Seth Rollins won't just switch from Roman to go, okay, I'm going to go after Bobby now. The only way that sort of makes sense to me, but again, they only went when Big E was champion. Seth did win a number one contenders ladder match, so technically he still is owed a one-on-one. But I feel like that's what he used on Roman instead. Again, like I said, Raw's got nothing. Like, are they just going to randomly pluck someone out and go, sure, Kevin Owens, you go after him, you're a face now, despite the fact he's still a heel. It's just so bizarre how they've done it. And yeah, it's just left a really sour note, the fact that Brock Lesnar won. Like, Brock and Ronda, like, if it's them trying to go, look, UFC stars have won, it's like, well, first off, if you just made UFC stars beat all your wrestlers, it makes your wrestlers look really weak. Second, you're not I feel WWE's logic now is all they're looking to do is build new fans and not keep fans, essentially. They don't care about their long-serving fans. They don't care about fans that have been there for 6 months to a year or so. They just care about making more and more fans, like they're basically bringing anyone across. But they'll leave after like 4 weeks after they see the shambolic episodes of Raw and SmackDown and the state of NXT now. But yeah, it was just such a sour note. And like at 5 a.m, I was sort of just like, I feel like I jinxed myself in the last video, but I sat there and literally just went, I really wish I didn't stay up for this if that's what the results were. Like, if the fact that Brock Lesnar and Ronda Rousey are your winners of the Rumbles, and like, again, this whole year, like this year, we've just literally going, we have no idea who's going to win. No one's a clear-cut favourite to win. They could, they could have Big E win and go after Brock Lesnar because we've never seen that match. They could have Kevin Owens win, and if Seth somehow got the title off Roman, or Seth eventually gets the title off Bobby, and then they can do Seth and Kevin. Drew could win and finally get that title match that he's been trying to get for so long. But for them to go with Brock, it's just sort of like, and then the same with the women's one. It's like, whoever eliminates Charlotte, you could set that match up by itself. Like, how they did with Drew and Brock, and like, probably looking back at it, Drew probably didn't need to win the Rumble, but it makes it more impressive that he did from the middle of the pack. But you set up Brock and Drew because Drew eliminates Brock. But let's say you had Lita eliminate Charlotte, or you had Sasha eliminate Charlotte. That sets up your title match. But the fact that Ronda, the Rumble winner, eliminates Charlotte last, have we set up Ronda Charlotte, or have we set up Ronda Becky? And if we've set up Ronda Charlotte, who's going after Becky? She's beat Doudrop, she's beat Bianca, she's beat Liv. There's no viable contenders on Raw unless she goes after one of them again. Maybe Rhea could, but she's stuck in a feud with Nikki right now. So, yeah, Raw's side is essentially screwed over looking at this. I think they know that Raw is a trash show as it is. Like, it doesn't help that it's 3 hours long and they do the same matches every week. I think they know that SmackDown's where it's at, which is why they're building everything on SmackDown. But yeah, it just left such a sour taste. The fact that Brock Lesnar, again, it's just, like, it was Money in the Bank 2019, I believe it was, where anyone could have won, and then immediately, oh, here's Brock Lesnar at the end, Brock Lesnar wins, way. It's like you could. The whole point of Money in the Bank, the whole point of the Rumble is to make someone a main eventer. Don't give it to someone who is even more than main eventer. He's already mega star as it is. That's the thing that bugs me about the Rumble sometimes, is like, I feel like it makes more sense if the Rumble winner, in storyline sense, if they're a main eventer, is trying to get back into the main event, or if it's someone brand new that is capable of taking it to the main event. When it's someone that's already in the title picture, like especially the fact that Brock literally was champion going into the show and then he goes on to win, it's just really stupid. I hate it. I really hate it. It's definitely a Rumble I'm not going to go back and watch. Like, I'm not going to watch either of these Rumbles back, and it pains me to say that because, like I said in the predictions video, the Rumble is my favourite. Like, the Rumble is my favourite pay-per-view of the year. It beats WrestleMania. It beats Money in the Bank. Definitely beats SummerSlam Survivor Series. I don't really care for those two pay-per-views. And the fact that these are the winners and that was the ending to your show is lol Brock wins. Like, I get the joke is lol Cena wins, but now it's lol Brock wins. It's just really deflating. Like, and then they've got the cheek to say Brock Lesnar's going to announce his opponent for WrestleMania tonight on Raw. We know it's Roman. You don't need the Rumble win to say that he's going after Roman. He could have just easily come out and say, Roman, you cost me the title. I'm going to go beat your ass. There you go. Again, he didn't need it. And, like, Ronda's going to announce her opponent, which, fine. If it's Becky, fair enough. If it's Charlotte, again, you don't need the Rumble win for that. It's just, like, again, I know I could be, like, jumping too much into it, but the fact that Ronda and Brock are your winners, essentially part-timers, really shows that WWE has no faith in their full-time, like, wrestlers, independent contractors, or their superstars that are contracted to them. It's just, I did say I'd ramble about it. I'm going to try and not ramble too much because I've gone over half an hour. But yeah, I didn't do too well predictions wise, to be honest. I thought Brock was going to retain. I was kind of hoping Brock would do something at the Chamber, not actually go on and win the Rumble and spoil it. But there you go. I really hate that I'm saying this, but I did not enjoy the Royal Rumble. Like, the men's one was so rushed and just so bland. Nothing of note really happened. There's your review. Like I said, Seth Roman was the best thing on the night. It gave me Backlash 2018 vibes. I feel like the second people saw Brock, they were already walking out because they knew where he was going to go. Ronda wins. Fair enough, I guess. We'll see where that goes. Becky retained. Very predictable. Edge and Beth won. Probably very predictable. The whole Bobby, Roman, Brock thing. As soon as Roman came out, we saw that where that's going. And yeah, just really depressing ending to the men's Rumble. But that's my reactions. Do let me know what you think, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one.